Hello, my name's Brendan, and I am going to go over this program that I've been developing called Toja, which stands for Track and Optimize Your Job Applications. So this is a program. It's written in Python. It's a Windows desktop application that basically just keeps track of your jobs and has some keyword functionality and as well also has a bit of a point system. So I'm just going to go over it right here. This is the home screen, and the first time you open it up, you get a bit of a welcome window that gives you an option if you want to try a sample user, which basically uploads some sample data, or if you just want to start fresh with a new user, and in which case you can just write your new username. At any point you can switch users, so it's not that big of a deal, but just to make things a bit easier, I'm going to just start with the sample user. And you can see it uploaded 15 jobs here already. So each job has its own profile. You can see that there is the company and the position title. And if I double click on it, it will pull up the job profile. So this is basically the company, and we have the position and some additional information about the job, where it is, how much the salary, top and bottom is, the resume version, etc. And we also have the job description. So this is basically describing the job. This is just something that would be copy and pasted from a job description when you are applying. There's also a keywords tab. So this is basically a list of all the keywords that are found in that job description, and it ranks them on the highest to the lowest. So you can see quantum is 17, and then the next is data for 5. And that's how many times it's come up in the job description. So that's going to be useful for when you're writing your resume. I have a bit of a keywords tab here, I'll show you in a second. But this is going to help you get the best resume version for getting a job. And on the side here, we have two tabs. We have events and contacts. Events is basically anytime something happens associated with that job. So you can see we applied for this job. There's a prospect. If you double click on this, it'll pull up some more information. What happened, any notes that you put on that. And you can see here there's a contact associated with this event, time, date, and a little bit of a note. I applied for my machine learning dream job, which is kind of cool. Also important here is the event type, which we'll go over in a second. That's going to be important for the point system that we have, which we have over here. I'll show you that in a sec. On contacts, that's basically any contacts associated with this job. You can click here. You can see that this person is a contact. You can add a new contact really easily. If you just want to put Bob, the builder, and you can leave some of that blank, and you can see he's added Bob into my contact list. Same thing with events. Say if something happens along the pipeline for this job, maybe you get an interview, you can actually add a new event, and that's really simple. Just from the drop down menu, we're going to put an interview, and you can add a contact, Bob the Builder if you want, and you can say interview went great, whatever you'd like there, and you go ahead and submit. And one of the things that you'll notice here is there's points associated with this event. You can see that we're currently level 5 job hunter, and we have 285 points. When I submit this new event, I actually moved up. Interview is actually a really big point, so you get lots of points depending on what the event is, but interview is really big points. You can actually moved up to level 6 job hunter, and now we have 305 points. And we have that interview on the list of events, so you can reference this back of what you did there. So that's pretty straightforward. If you want to edit any of this main info, you can go ahead and click that button. That will pull up this little edit button. You can change whatever you want, add something, whatever. Maybe this is hybrid, whatever. And you can see that that changed that. Maybe it's on site. Now we're back on site. So that's basically the job profile. If you want to add a new job, that's really straightforward. Just hit this plus bar and it'll bring up this window, and you can just put just some whatever information here. You can fill this out as much as you want. This is a test to see if I know Python. So this is the job description. This is something typically just copy and paste the job description when you're filling this out. Any notes you want to put. I hope I get this job. You can reference that for later. Go ahead and submit, and you can see that we've added that. That's our 16th job to our job profile. Go ahead and double click on that, and you can see we got some of the information. It's already applied. Keywords. You can see that we have test right there. And I don't know why it's not picking up Python. I'll have a look at that. Anyway, you can go ahead and delete that if you want. Really straightforward. Go ahead and click that, and we can go ahead and delete that if we need to. Perfect. So the network and events, those are pretty straightforward. These are all the events that we have in total. If you wanted to just look at a list of all the events, you can see the different jobs that they were. These are the past ones. These were any ones that we have upcoming, and same with network. And if you want, you can actually add people from this. If you want to associate them with the job, you can, or you can just have them as just a standalone contact. You can see Bob the Builder right there, and he's associated with job 7, job ID 7. Cool. And then keywords. This is really cool. This is something that will be helpful for when you're trying to develop your resume to have optimal keywords. So you can do a search for all the jobs, just clicking search, and that'll basically pull up keywords through all the job descriptions that you have. You can see code is the top. Data and code are actually tied 43, which is cool. You can look up specific job titles. Say if you want to just look up job ID 1, that'll just pull up the ID 1, this TechCo. Or if you want, you can search for position titles. So this is cool. This is basically what you filter out different positions. So if I went software developer, this threshold will basically pull up any of the jobs with the title of software developer. And you can see this little view icon, nothing shows up. So if I lower this threshold a little bit, boom, you can see that it's going to pull up software engineer, full stack developer, front end developer. I can pull this up, and that just filtered out one of those. Or I can drop this down further and pick up more jobs and basically do more keyword searches. So this will help you out if you basically want to just look for specific job titles, and the job title's name might not match. So like data analysis, data engineer, data scientist, or whatever. They're all basically kind of similar jobs, and you want to pull up keywords for those specific jobs, but you don't want to pull out like scuba diving instructor or something like that. So you kind of want to filter that out. So that's a little feature to do that. You can also upload your resume. Any PDF file, it'll basically parse that and run that through. So let me just pull up my resume and then do a search, and it'll basically give me a breakdown of all the keywords for my resume and give me a unique score. So this one's 31. Maybe if I grab a different resume, social media, see how this one works out. This one 26. So there's less keywords matching on this one. And as my software one. Let's see, data analysis. 24. Ooh, that one's even worse. Wonder if I go data. Let's check this out. See what I get here. Oh yeah, there we go. So you can see that that pumped up that score now to 62. They're using my data analysis version of my website, but now I'm actually searching for data scientist and data analyst. Basically, the jobs. This one, data analysis. I think there was data scientist somewhere in there. Yeah, exactly. So these two jobs, and that's just searching for the description for these ones. Yeah, so that's basically the program in a nutshell. There's some additional features. For example, if you want to change the UI, you can just go to the settings. You can change the button appearance. If you want to make it green, all the buttons turn green. If you want to change this, you can change this if you want to red. There's also the icon mode, which will basically change the icons from white to black. So you can see, depending on what color button you choose, white, you might prefer white. And then appearance mode, if you just want to go with dark mode instead of light mode, you can do that. And you can mess around with that. So that changes basically the UI for everything, which is kind of cool. Want to go with dark mode. The other thing is if you want to make a new user, that's really straightforward. You can change your user. You can see that we just have the sample user here, but say if I want to make a new user, I can go ahead and do that. And you can see that this is my job for my new user. And I could switch back to my sample user. And then I got my 15 jobs here. And the last thing that I'll show you, which is pretty useful, is the export feature. This is pretty handy for if you want to export your data to CSV. So I'll just basically export it to the desktop, and we'll show you that here in a sec. You can see that I got these 3 CSV files. One of them's for jobs, one of them's for events and contacts. So you can see that it's basically a list of all the events that I applied for, and same thing for jobs and the contacts. So this is good if you need to do a log of your job application. If you want to log that for whatever reason, maybe you need to send it to somebody to show that you're looking for a job or something like that. It can be relatively useful. Yeah, so that's basically it. The last thing I'll go over is how to install it. There's a couple ways to install it. You can see from my GitHub here, this is the repository for this program, and there's a bunch of information on here. The easiest thing to install it is basically just going over to the releases section here and downloading this installer. So just go ahead and click on this. That's going to go ahead and download it, and go ahead and open that up. Now, as you can see here, my PC is saying, hey, I don't recognize this. This is because I didn't purchase, this is like a small project for me. I didn't purchase a Windows publisher certificate, so it doesn't know this executable, so it's going to give you a bit of warning. So you're just going to have to go ahead and run that anyway. And basically, what you'll get is you'll get just a typical setup wizard and go through this. And if you want to make some choices, if you want a shortcut for the desktop or the start menu, and that's it. So we'll go ahead and install it. And boom, you can see we got it right here. And go ahead and start that up. And this is a fresh install, so it's going to give me this. This just shows up the first time. We'll go ahead and use the sample user. And there you go. And then if you want to, for whatever reason, if you want to uninstall it, You just go to your add and remove programs and go down to Toja right here, and then we'll go uninstall. And that will basically uninstall everything. Cool. So that's basically it. If you want some more info, like I said, you can check out this GitHub repository. It is open source, so you can go into the source code. You can also, if you want to run the source code, you can actually choose to run it directly. I have some instructions here on basically how to do that. If you prefer to just clone the repository and just run it from the command line, definitely works that way too as well. Whatever you prefer. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy, and it gives you uh, helps you get a job. And yeah, and then just if you like this, go ahead and give this a little bit of a star on GitHub, and maybe leave me a comment. I appreciate that. That'll help me, give me some more encourage to develop this more and add some more features. All right, enjoy it. Bye.